Good evening from me. I'm going to be reviewing TruLeave's White Buffalo TruFlower. I reviewed their Colombian Gold earlier today. I couldn't find any test results for their Colombian Gold. However, I was able to find some test results for their White Buffalo. The batch number was the same that I could find. Um, so as far as corresponding numbers, that makes me feel a little bit better that this is the representation that I'm looking for. So the batch number on top, there's 1.154 CBGA, 0.053 CBG, 22.484 THCA, and 0.221 Delta 9. They did some math for total THC. I'd personally rather just see the acid, non-detected pesticides, and then the terpenes is kind of interesting. There seems to be almost a little bit of everything. No microbiology present, yeast molds, mycotoxins. So the purpose behind my trip to TruLeave, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in my other video or even if I mentioned it in the other video. But the purpose was for me to be able to stay present and exercise and making sure that I show up. I have a lot of issues with energy. It might not appear it right now, but I'm pretty close to being able to just fall asleep, and it's only 7:40. But I'm gonna go for a jog or take my dog for a nice, decent walk. So I'm hoping that that will be a comfortable journey for me. On walks, I'm prone to issues with my legs, throughout my entire leg, basically. I have to be really careful about how I step. The shoes that I wear can be pretty important. I have to take a lot of care in just how I move. So even like some distances, it wears me down. So I'm hoping to deal through any kind of joint pain, fiery nerve pain, what feels like swelling but isn't swelling kind of stuff. Just things that can make me feel like I need to stop, but it's not really an issue. You know what I mean? Um, and hopefully just prevent it overall. That would be really good. So I'm gonna do a session with you guys first and get myself ready, and then I might do a post-run session, let you guys know not just how the run went, but if I had any issues with the run, I can let you guys know, and then how the White Buffalo helps me with that. I was kind of excited to try the White Buffalo. It's a cross between Romulan and then a cross of Bay 11 and Blackberry Kush. Romulan's good for pain relief and spasms. And then Blackberry Kush, from what I understand, it's pretty good for nerve pain as well as pain in general. And then Bay 11, it's a cross between Ken's Kush and Appalachia, which is a green sea and a Trey's dog. So you can expect some kind of muscle relief and ease with that. But what kind of threw me off with the leafly description, because that's the little sticker that they use for it, is that it shows up as a sativa, but almost all of the making up parts were hybrid leaning, or what they call indica plants. So maybe phenotypic selection, or maybe just expression that is what it is, and that's how people describe it. But that's just one of the funny things in, you know, how we do our whole labeling. So the smell that I get from it is it's kind of like a musky, peppery, almost garlicky smell, um, which was kind of interesting because, like I mentioned when we were going through the chart, there was all kinds of present terpenes. Linalool being a fun one, you know, it brings out just a pleasant fragrance in my opinion. It's pretty soothing. Um, so just filling up this bag, you smell a lot of the muskiness. The pepperiness kind of soothes out. Sorry about that, we've got our walking friend now. So, back to the review. I didn't get too much taste on that one actually. There's more in the aroma. You know, as I'm filling up the bag, and then even in the air it smells, but the taste itself is kind of barky maybe. Um, Maybe like pine bark, if anything. Really light taste. I'm gonna finish up this balloon, and it's at 420 by the way, 420 Fahrenheit, and I'll probably do another at 428 to finish up my kind of pre-workout. You know, getting my body in that kind of state, and then I'm gonna stretch and go for my jog thing with my dog. It might just be the exposure to heat, but this is a little rougher on my throat. I'm not sure if that might be a terpene or, like I said, just the heat. If you guys have had any experience with these TruFlowers, leave them below. Like I mentioned in another video, I have to use Edgewater, so I currently only have White Buffalo and Colombian Gold available to me, fortunately for me, because I'm in that kind of state where I want to be active, and I need to be active actually. So earlier I was wanting to be active, but it was kind of a battle of being active. So hopefully, you know, life won't be such a fight. That's the dream. I have some issues with my eyes, so on that hit particularly, I was able to feel a lot of blood flow throughout this whole area, like initially up here in my head, um, but also kind of like a flush behind the eyes. I don't really expect that my eyes will turn red, but that does happen sometimes, and I personally welcome that. My eyes feel amazing when that happens, but seems kind of milky to me. Well, relatively, you know. So this is gonna be at 428 now. Um, these are my temperatures, what I've figured out to be best for me generally. Um, I'm sure that over time, as availability changes and prices change and things like that, I'll have a wider range of experimentation where um, some cultivars or flavors do better at certain temperatures and whatnot. But for the needs that I need, mostly nerve and um, inflammation relief, these higher temperatures help me utilize that as well as when I need to rest, I'm able to rest because it does feel kind of heavy on you um, as compared to a lighter temperature like maybe 386 or 392. Um, or, you know, if you go lighter than that, I feel like a kind of a helmet sensation. I'm really hoping that gives me relief from neck stress. You know, when you're moving, um, your whole spine is it takes part in that whole process from top to bottom. Um, and throughout my journey, sometimes um, different parts get affected differently. And lately, my neck has definitely been giving me lots of problems. Um, Probably not sleep related because I don't really do much of that. But also, when I do, it's kind of in the same position. So not really. Maybe like a smoky bark. That could just be the vapor. I can see a shine to my eyes, but I don't. No, they're not really particularly red, just a shine. This cultivar so far is pretty easy to take in. Um, I'm not really. There's a little bit of constriction with my throat, as you can notice. I'm, maybe a little bit slower to speak or having to get water maybe more than I should, but it's not really inducing a cough. The breathing is fine. There's kind of a pressure here, but it's not anything that I can't deal with. Um, personally feel a massage right here. Feels like there goes the cough. And I'm gonna finish up this bag and get on going. Alright, so it's been a little bit more than half an hour after our session. The cardio was pretty mild to moderate. Um, I went with my dog and he did lots of pulling, so a lot of my back was involved with that. My shoulders definitely felt it. Then my hips. Um, it didn't bother me though. You know, it was just kind of there. I let itself be known whenever I had it, but then it would just release itself after I would just, you know, take a breath or ease up. More of the easing up and breathing, you know. I find that that helps a lot, changing your form a little bit. I'd like to do more work with it though, you know, doing yoga, because my hips trouble me a lot. So it would be really good for me to see what I can do with it. So right now I've got pains basically here, sweating a little bit on both sides. Like I said, my hips are a little achy. My feet have that like cold spiderwebby pain on the top of them, but no burning. So it's a different nerve pain, but I'm hoping I can get some relief from that and you know, ease into the night. So quick on availability, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier. This at an eighth, 3.5 grams, is $45. So being an eighth of an ounce, if you wanted to buy an ounce, that means that this would be $360. So far, I think it's only available in Edgewater. And again, I think almost all of TruFlower is only available at the store itself. They don't deliver it. This is what the package looks like. And then you just open it up like this. And then your typical vial that almost all TruLeaf products come in. And then it's 3 of these, what appears to be porcelain, tamper-proof containers. And those are meant to go on their tabletop vaporizer. I remember thinking on my walk that I wish I had this available in an edible form, so it could last longer for sure. I can still kind of feel it mentally, but as far as my body goes, I definitely feel a change in my body. So I'm gonna medicate now, and I'll let you know if there's any difference in my body as far as the aches in my hips and my back go, as well as the nerves in my feet. Quickly reminded of that as I cross my ankles. felt a warmth kind of rush over my head, that kind of like helmet sensation, and then everything just kind of felt to wash away. That's nice. So I'd recommend this for people that have arthritis for sure. If you need to get around and move, this can help you with breakthrough stuff. It can help you with staying active. I'm not really sure on dosing. I did kind of a light exercise just now. It lasted for almost 40 minutes, but all in all, it was fairly light. So, like I said, I would probably need to do, you know, exercise in the field, and really try and use my body to see how it works. But I'm really happy that this stuff is starting to become available. Hopefully these lawsuits go through. There's the case with Joe Redner. He's expecting to hear something back within the next 2 weeks, and as I'm recording, it's the 29th now, of March. So we'll see. And then the other one is for John Morgan's smoking case. That one would absolutely allow flowers. So I encourage you guys to stay active in your communities. If there's events that the Department of Health is hosting as far as rulemaking or procedures or whatever, it's important that we show up and make our voices heard so that everyone has the opportunities that they need to go well. And it's important that they know that what our intention was with passing it and how we want to work with them to make that happen. From what I've seen from the public meetings, they seem very receptive. If you're a patient, I highly advise you to go out. They really want to know the patient experience as far as whatever it goes. I think coming up is pesticides. If that's the case, I'll leave that in the description below. If that's not, I'll link whatever's coming up. Or maybe if I can find it, a page that has the links, because I think that you have to go to individual dates to look it up. We'll see. Yeah, if you guys found this video useful, or think that somebody else might think it's useful, feel free to like it and share it. Subscribe if you want to. Until next time, guys, have a great day.